all, I think your analysis was very straight line. History doesn't run in a straight line.
Kid, you cannot tell your neighbor he is stealing ducks when you are stealing funds.
As High Commissioner, I was wrong. As CHARRANDAS PERSAUD, I reacted naturally how any person would have.
I did not come here for that kind of abuse. I did not come here for that kind of abuse. If you're going to go down that road, I'll walk off.
But it's all okay once they're talking. If they were talking, I could not have been here today.
You got ADHD.
I got nothing.
Calm down.
I think I've done enough in terms of taking our team out of trouble from losing.
Come on, Lou Taylor. That's good. I'm reading the script now, and the first person that comes to my mind to play a detective,
Yes,
but
the
an
Guyanese critic.
erratic
Mikhail
detective,
Rodriguez.
is Mikhail Rodriguez.
Why an African slap an Indian? Why a man and slap a woman? Look, good, how you deal with that? You deal with that.
We must encourage platforms like this because it brings together different people and allows for discussions to take place in our country on a multiplicity of fundamental issues.
Kingdom, you apologizing for something you think I did is wrong. I don't want you to do that, and you should not have done that. Hi there, pleasant Friday evening to you. We are coming live. This is a live program, so any mistakes we made, any foul up, it cannot be edited. This is live. This is our usual call-in program. We have a WhatsApp number so the diaspora can call, and that WhatsApp number belongs to a famous Guyanese, an iconic Guyanese that has written his name in the history books. And as you will see from the advertisement, that iconic man is CHARRANDAS PERSAUD. So ask Charan anything, offer your opinions, your analysis, your criticism. If you're going to criticize the man, just be circumspect. You can tell him that politically you wouldn't vote for him. Politically he's not he's a non-starter, whatever. But if you're going to criticize him, be circumspect. If you're going to praise him, well, feel free. If you want him to comment on things, call him. The numbers are on the screen, 707-1132 and 231-2982. Call in and talk to the iconic CHARRANDAS PERSAUD. We have until 10 o'clock, and there must be things that you want him. He's a lawyer, he's been a lawyer for a long time, to comment on. Now, for example, there are some things I would like to discuss with you, but if you call, fine. Charan, you will see when the numbers are.
Yes.
Something happened this week that I think should concern all Guyanese. Every single Guyanese. This is insanity. The GRA is supposed to do the paperwork when we migrants come back home. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs send a document to the GRA saying, please process a duty-free vehicle.
Items, yeah.
Whatever comes in and you have to pay tax for, we migrants do not pay taxes. And so for the paperwork and for auditing of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and GRA, the auditing process, GRA has to do the paperwork. GRA told a migrant, where did you get, your phone is ringing?
No. The volume is on, so it'll ring. It's on, it's not ringing.
GRA told, I thought I heard it ringing just now. GRA told the man he must explain how we got the money to buy the car. This man bought his car as a migrant. The man car was on the wharf since January. So I guess he's so burdened with his, so burdened with his mental anguish that the man took a lawyer The lawyer is the legal advisor for the newspaper I write for, the Chronicle, Mr. Dujan. And the Chief Justice was so enraged. She said the GRA is acting illegally to ask the man how we get money from. She ordered 2 types of costs. The normal cost for losing the case, and the GRA has to pay the wharf duties.
Right.
Since January, you could see the Chief Justice was saying the man car vehicle should not have been on the wharf since January. You made the man accumulate these costs, these daily costs on the wharf.
Borrage costs.
You have to pay for it. Yeah. And that is going to be quite a large sum. But you think that's the end of it? No, that's not the end of it. The lawyer, Mr. Dujan, who won this case, won a previous case on the identical situation in which GRA asking people how you get money to buy that car. So if Dujan won an identical case, how could there have been a second case? The law of civilization kicks in. The rule of law kicks in. Civil rights kick in. The GRA now have to stop that. If you have to get a warrant to search a business premises and you didn't, and the judge said, under the law, you have to get a warrant. The police have to get a warrant. The police can no longer go and search people's place without a warrant. So if Mr. Dujan won a case in which the court said the GRA has no legal right to ask someone when you get the money to buy that vehicle, they have, for the sake of the records, they have to process the concession and give the man his license number, what have you, his registration. Mr. Dujan won a second case and told me this morning there are several cases like that with vehicles on the wharf since last year. Well, this is a lawyer sitting next to me. I could only use one word to describe that. Breakdown of civilization. And I'm telling you, I am sure that the highest echelons of the government do not know that this is happening at GRA, that GRA cannot ask people where they get the money to buy their vanity set and their car.
Anything, that's right. Yeah.
And Mr. Dujan is saying he won a case like that before, and there are more vehicles sitting on the wharf. Charan, you're a lawyer,
Freddie,
and a competent one. I mean,
let me say good night to the people out there. And again, it's always a pleasure sitting beside you, Freddie. And I hope that tonight we can have some questions that you would like to ask me, and hope I can answer them properly or give you, I know that I will not lie to you. So let's hear from you. And Freddie, again, thank you. But what is happening there at GRA? It's a case where I don't know if they have, and they should have, lawyers working for them. But what are their lawyers doing? You cannot, and I'm glad, but the thing is, do we know that they're going to pay this, or are they appealing the ruling?
No, the judge, I should have said that. The judge said no appeal, so they cannot appeal. All they could do is appeal the judge's decision that they cannot appeal, but they cannot file papers to appeal. The judge was so incensed. He just said, what are you appealing?
Yeah.
How could you want an appeal when this thing don't exist in law? I'm ringing your number to see if it's...
Oh, mine, yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's on.
Let's see.
I just made the adjustment. Yep.
Right, good.
Very good.
Right.
Connected, and it's on.
Right, so call, we have the numbers on the line there. The diaspora normally like to call on the WhatsApp number. We have CHARRANDAS in the studio this evening. CHARRANDAS, the place CHARRANDAS first announced his re-entry into politics was right in that
here.
seat here 2 weeks ago. And then it's all over the net the past 2 weeks. The re-entry into politics of Charandas. How is that going to play out? Maybe you can tell us what you think. One person sat in that seat last week. His name is Jonathan Yearwood. And he said he thinks Charan's candidacy, re-entry into politics, is a non-starter. I have got a couple emails welcoming Charan, and people asking me which party you think he's going to join. Is he going to go with the PPP? I would advise him, I like the president, and I would advise him to throw in his lot with the president. But that is my political viewpoint.
Freddie, let me say something to that statement you just made. You will advise me, and I've listened to you. I've followed you on a lot of advices that you've given me. But the question now is, do you honestly believe that the PPP want me on their platform?
I don't know.
And that is something that has to be decided by the PPP. The question is, do they even think that they need me? I've been getting feedback from senior officials in the government that they will get a landslide in the next election. And so far, nobody has spoken to me.
That's me calling.
Yeah.
So far, no one has spoken to
you called? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I called.
Nobody from the PPP has spoken to me or even suggested that I join the PPP or ask if I'm going to support. It's early, really? By December 15th, I'll make a decision that may hurt them if they decide that they choose to ignore me continuously, you know, because I have my own issues with the PPP. So from now until then, I'm okay. I listen to anybody. I'm not saying which party I will join, whether I'll form a party. That will all be decided on or slightly after the 15th of December.
Why the 15th of December?
I just want to get a Christmas gift for some people and arouse
But
interest.
you have a good relation with the president.
I do. He's a marvelous man. Yeah.
Anil is a giant, man.
Anil is a lawyer, a good lawyer.
You all will make a good team, man.
I know, but I don't see Anil as a friend. He's just a colleague as a lawyer, but we have never been on friendly terms. But I can say safely that President Ali has been my friend for a long time, and even up to now, he still treats me as a friend. And so that by itself could go a long way.
You and Fana have always been all right.
All right.
He's probably going to call you and say, Chawan, what are you doing? What are you doing? You can't go with another party. The man is a very, very down-to-earth man who is not a deceiving person. I think that's one of the qualities he has going for him.
Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Hello.
Good night, gentlemen.
Good night. You're on the Freddie Kissoon show.
Okay. I just want to ask you guys something. What do you guys think about it? I've noticed some exposés on the internet about ministers and government officials having companies, share companies, and the nepotism that's going on. What are your thoughts about these things?
I don't know of any minister who has a company, but I don't know also that legally they cannot. Any minister, in my view, would have, I think, and this is something I'm not sure about, so we can look into it some more, have a right to have a company, so you can name it, Foresters Group of something.
What about the nepotism that is alleged nepotism? What do you think about what the contractor being given out to us? Only a certain demographic and that type of support, only supporter base.
Now, I was talking to you about a minister. What I would see, let's just say any Minister A has a company. Now, if that company is getting business more than the ordinary man outside there with similar skills, then you have to see that there's a conflict of interest there. So right, a minister may have legally...
Go into the minister's or the official's name.
Now, I can name a couple of people, you know, because I know this for a fact. If you read Stabrook News just the other day, when I raised the issue of my contract, Stabrook News stated that I'm a lawyer, and I don't know anything about road building. I should not be given a road. But then I mentioned that they got the journalism you get from them is because they have a personal grief against me, a bone to grind. And that is why they write these things. Recently, the editorial said that I got a contract to build a school in a place called Barima or Arima somewhere. And, you know, I have never had any contract to build even a foul pen from this government. But that is what the editorial is saying just 2 days ago.
Well, I'm looking forward to what you have to say in December, at later part, the last part of December.
What I have to say in December will make a lot of difference to what is going on right now. I can tell you that, my friend.
Well,
so let's wait and see what comes out.
Looking forward to that. Have a good night, gentlemen.
Thanks for calling. You too, buddy.
Well, what day is December the 5th? Maybe you'll come here and make your announcement.
The 15th.
The 15th. Okay. What day is December the 15th?
I don't even know. I don't have a calendar.
We'll find out. So, we're going to do it on the program?
We could.
Right, sure.
We could, yeah.
Right, December the 15th is, there were two announcements. One already been done, that he's
Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now, yes.
Yeah, hi, good evening, Freddie and
Good evening, my friend.
I don't know what decision you're going to make on the 15th of December.
Christmas.
All I would like to ask of you, or remind you, you would have saved the dear country of mine, Guyana, on that famous no confidence motion vote, which you would have voted to put those criminals out of office. I, in my heart of hearts, think that you're still going to support the PPP, and you should. I know that I can testify to this. I'm a PPP by heart. I'm a PPP by every ounce of my body.
All right.
But they can be a very, very ungrateful party. That there's no question about it. And it's coming from a PPP supporter, diehard supporter.
I hear you.
And I would ask of you, sir, to, for the better of Guyana, for the love of Guyana, please do not join any other party. Hang in there, and let's serve Guyana. Myself and you, let's serve Guyana. Okay, as PPP supporters.
I hear you, my friend, and I appreciate your concern, but I will only say one thing. I was a very good lawyer making good money during my practice. After the 21st of December 2018, having voted in no confidence, I have been unemployed, and then I was posted to India, and you know the rest of that story. But what I'm saying, and the reason I am looking at myself now, do I really deserve to live like I'm living? And in Guyanese terms, hand to mouth?
No, you don't. You absolutely not. You absolutely do not deserve that. And I'll tell you what, you've spoken about some relatives of mine who would have supported you during that no confidence motion, during the time when you were living in your sister's basement.
Yes.
Right? And you mentioned about a guy named Lake of Timiri Restaurant in Florida. That's my first cousin. That's my poor son.
Okay.
Right? And we all join hands together to support you. And again, I'm going to reiterate. I said this 3-4 times already, that you're undeserving of the treatment that was meted out to you after that so-called fiasco about that long about the dark story in India.
Okay, yeah.
Again, I am begging you, my brother Charan. I am begging you from the bottom of my heart and top of my liver. Let's keep the fight.
All right, my friend. Thanks a lot. We'll see how that goes, though. Yes.
Good.
That was a friend, and I know the entire family when we were campaigning, and after the no confidence and the election was set in 2020, they hosted a reception, a meeting in Florida at Lake's residence, and Peter Ramsroop was there. We collected a lot of money, which Peter brought back to Guyana. I did not touch a dollar. Peter Ramsroop brought it back.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Very good evening. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, Charrandas Persaud is next to me.
Good evening, my friend. How are you?
You have anything to ask him, or you have a general comment?
Yeah, Freddie, tell Chan is the owner of Q-Trek, the shipping company, on the phone.
My friend who blocks up traffic in David Street.
No, I told you already. We fixed the problem. Gentlemen, you put in Chan in a hot seat tonight. He's not the ideal person to comment on this re-migrant, whatever is happening in Guyana. I'll tell you a quick story. I have a lot of secrets for all those previous government people. A lot of them used to drive Hyundai and Kia.
Okay, don't call no name, right? Just keep talking, don't call no name. Because you're going to pay for lawyer for me and Charan, right? Good.
You ain't going to go to jail, buddy. I'm good at it. You got a lawyer, a barrister at law next to you there. No. A lot of them were driving Kia and Hyundai in North America, and we were shipping high-end vehicles to them. But I'll keep those secrets for a rainy day, right? Now, Guyana doesn't manufacture Toyota and Lexus and them high-end vehicles yet. You want to charge people $40,000 and $50,000 US duty on a car, man? Yeah?
That's
it's not fair. When you start manufacturing, don't worry about me. I take the bus when I go to Guyana. I'm like Nagamutu. We just go with donkey cart to move around, right? So don't worry. I spend so much money in Guyana, and I can't get a duty-free vehicle to drive in Guyana. I can't. You know how much money I spend in Guyana, Freddie? That money I could have buy 5 McDonald's in North America. You know, live a big shot life. But yes, sir, I was born in Guyana, right? And I thought about my country. Now, I'm okay. I'm about this. I've had enough, right? But this thing about vehicles, people, what's the big deal about driving a $50,000 car and a harsh road across the road and you hit it? What's this mentality of Guyanese, Freddie? You drive a $50,000, $100,000 US dollar vehicle and a big fat pig run over the road and you're going to write it off? People need to realize that life is beautiful. You don't need a car to show off or whatever. Anyway, Charrandas, good night, brother.
Wait, before you go.
Good night, my friend. Good night.
You still
It's been
there?
a while, man.
Before you go, you're still on the line there?
I'm here.
My lawyer, a marshal from the court will be visiting your office on Monday. I file an injunction against you for blocking up the traffic in David Street.
Here, hey, Fred, you got to extradite me from Canada. I had a small matter in Guyana, and a learned judge in Guyana issued a wanted bulletin for me.
What?
Well, I'm in Canada here, and just so what? For a petty matter, so I ain't coming back to Guyana.
No, don't say that, man.
Hey, Hardet, when you come, call me, man.
Don't say that. You're not coming. Wait.
You know that gentleman next to you there is my friend. He is my friend.
Still is, Hardet. Still is. That not gonna change.
The man is my friend, and guess what? You put him on the hot seat tonight, Freddie, to criticize on corruption in importation of vehicles or whatever. That ain't gonna stop. I got a long list of people that secrets I have. I'm gonna keep it. One day when me and you got out by Twitter Marvy, Fred, I'll tell you some of the names.
Well, don't forget, when you come to Guyana, I think you have my cell number because you'd call me. But take down my cell number now. 614.
Give it to me.
614. 5927.
Hardet, my number is on the screen also. Stay in touch.
We will talk, sir. And gentlemen, I hope I don't get in trouble and I get deported from Ghana when I come, but guess what?
No, man, you can't
get deported from Ghana.
I don't care, Fred.
Take care, man. Have a good night, yeah?
I'm gonna see you guys when I come down there. Take care, man, gentlemen.
Okay.
Good night.
That's hard at cute tricks.
Yeah, he has a business in Davis Street. When he comes to Guyana, we meet each other randomly, and after a while, I got to know him. He reads my column, so yeah, it is a very interesting gentleman. So,
yes.
Good evening.
Good evening to you, Professor Kissoon, and my good learned brother there, the very good comrade who helped to save the country at one time, CHARRANDAS PERSAUD.
Good evening, my friend.
Yes. I spoke recently. Tonight's contribution is not a political contribution, but a safety contribution.
A what contribution?
It's not a political contribution tonight, but a safety contribution.
Okay.
National safety contribution.
Let's hear you.
That I wish to make, you know. Now, 3 men fought extensively against the class structure in this country. I want to begin by saying that 3 men. One is alive, he's hosting the program tonight, and the other 2 are deceased, Chelly Jagan and Walter Rodney. Now, some weeks ago, I observed the long comrade, Siraj and Professor Kissoon were having a discussion, and the word, the cliche, often overused, came up, prominent Guyanese. Now, if Jagan was around, or Rodney was around, they would have rephrased that statement. They wouldn't have said prominent, because prominent seeks to imply, even though, yes, you have decent Guyanese, you have well-respected Guyanese, but prominent sends a harsh message implying, again, the class structure. When all of us, whether we drive Land Cruiser, whether we drive a low-end car, or whether we use a dog yard, you leave all of that on the face of the earth when you die, and you have to go, and I know CHARRANDAS and Professor Kissoon will only support that statement, and you go to the Creator to be judged, not for your accomplishments on earth materially, but for your deeds and your actions on earth. So the Land Cruiser that everybody jumping up, and the Tacoma that everybody jumping up and hyening themselves about, that doesn't matter in the afterlife.
That's true.
Everything you got to do in this life is in service to humanity and service to country. So I go now into the safety aspect. We have 65 members that comprise Parliament. I think I'm right with that number.
Yeah, that's 65.
Good. And Parliament is the main decision-making component in the country, as it relates to legislation, as it relates to bills and so forth.
Everything.
Now, I spoke to a safety specialist recently, and I asked him, I said, what has become with the Guyana Road Safety Council? And he looked at me and he slackened his tie around his neck, and he said, boy, that is a red tape right away. I had to quit that Road Safety Council because it is defunct. No member has the drive to really push road safety or public safety in this country. Now, if Parliament, which is very important to the country, can find it in their heart to work along, and they can do it on rotation, 1 month, 32 members can take the streets, sharing flyers. I will join them. Professor Kissoon will join them. I know for sure you will join them. Don the safety outfit and share stickers, share flyers, have pep talks with drivers and road users on how to curb the road accidents and to behave in a manner that is humane to each other. You finish with that 32 or that 33. You go to the other rotation, the 32, well, we can't find half, 33. Again, you get the Speaker of the House as well. It will put pressure on the Road Safety Council to get their butts off their hot, warm seat and get out there when they see Parliament is on the move. And I want serious consideration. I know Comrade CHARRANDAS is very influential and he has close ties with both the opposition and the government, right? Despite whatever happened, he was a former member. Raise this suggestion for road safety. Look, one final thing before I go. So many commissioners from 1975 to 2024 have served the country. And you know, none of them authored a road safety manual. None of them. So many traffic chiefs, they went in the force, they served the time, they left. You know why that is so? Because it is not their baby. Road safety is not their baby. They just take up the appointment for drying a salary and drying it for drying its sake. Right? That is a contribution that they can make because of their knowledge of traffic and their knowledge on how to curb accidents and promote safety. Not even a book, they can create a manual. The final suggestion I have to make is this. There's so many cars being sold. Partner with the dealer. Parliament can now partner with the dealers that every vehicle that is sold, see that such a manual is given to the purchaser in that vehicle, and let it be part of the documents that they have in the glove compartment when the police stop them. Let it become enacted through legislation that one of the requirements they have to submit is the road safety or the driver's safety manual on the usage of the road other than the fitness and the registration and the license, so that from time to time they will go back and read and peruse, because it is part of the kit that comprises the documentation of the vehicle. I want to thank you both for the time, and I'm sure when I come off, you may discuss the suggestion that I've made, you know.
Okay.
My friend, let me say something quickly.
Go ahead.
Road safety, as you have mentioned, should be one of the biggest priorities in this country right now. And I'll give you one example why I'm saying that. The signs on the road, I've said this already, are so foolishly placed. Mandela Avenue from Sherry Street all the way to Vicinian Road. Yeah. It's full of double solid line in the middle. That is the straightest piece of road you can find in Georgetown.
It's true.
And you should not have double solid lines there, because you can overtake with, you can see the road. Double solid line should be placed at a turn that you cannot see into, so it is unsafe to overtake. What is unsafe about overtaking Mandela Avenue? And the signs are there, and if you breach the sign, the police grab you. The stupid signs that are placed all over this place, all over the road, they don't even know to put the sign. I don't know if the minister understands what sign should be placed where, and that is one of the biggest problems we have with our roads. Signs are illegally placed, and then when they're placed, like Sherry Street, you have a cycle lane. Instead of double lane, you have a cycle lane. Who rides a bicycle on Sherry Street? Yes, and then that cycle lane, you will know.
I've thought about that too.
That cycle lane is not even used by cycling, but what you have is cars driving their way through, and you have sometimes, instead of two cars side by side, you have three cars going on one side of the road. So you have the signs, illegally placed or not, nobody is there to enforce them. Yes. And that is what the problem is, enforcement.
One final thing too, I agree with you totally, Brother Charrandas. One final thing I'd like to say. Now, some policemen should be exempted and allowed to carry tint on the vehicle, especially the police that are involved in narcotics and enforcement, right. And also the special branch, because they have people on surveillance and they should be protected and given some amount of protection. However, you cannot have a traffic cop enforcing zero tolerance or enforcing the removal of tint.
And his car is black.
Black from front to back. Why you have on something at the front of your vehicle that can obscure your vision at night, yes, that you have to drive so slow because you're not seeing, you got to push out here at all because of style and fashion. The commissioner needs to step up. Even the president, our good comrade and brother, needs to step up, and the Minister Ben, needs to step up, because if you're having the people who are enforcing, they need to set the greatest example. Yes. I could recall Minister Ben, he messed up a fireman and he told the fireman, you see how your shoes is shine? You're not kitted up for this work. You see how my shoes have mud? When you come out here, you must have your long boots, you must have your rain gear and everything. The police need to stop this style and fashion thing like what West Indies team is doing and losing. The police need to stop altering the uniform and having ankles.
All right. We hear you, my friend.
If you rescue someone, your pants will tear up because it's too tight.
All right, we get another call. Thanks, my friend. Thanks.
Anyway, that's my contribution.
Good contribution.
Bye-bye.
Hello, good night.
Hello?
Freddie, Good evening to you.
Same to you.
And Sharon.
Good night, my friend.
Let me tell you something. People are crying out for justice in this country. And let the PPP don't feel too complacent that they're going to get a landslide. It's not so. It's not so. A previous caller just called and tell Sharon that the PPP are very ungrateful now. Ungrateful to the old comrades. And just now they will call Sharon an apostle. And Freddie, they will call you apostle too. Right? Anyhow, GRA and the police force want to bring down this country, this government, because people are crying out for justice. And Sharon, I got a crystal ball, and it tells me you're going to join ANOC. I hope I'm not wrong.
All right. I hope your crystal ball didn't lie to you. My friend, I said that already. I'll make those decisions a little by December 15 or slightly after that. But for now, let them all do their thing and see what goes down, you know. But I hear you and I agree with you. I really agree with you.
All right.
Have a good one, man.
Here.
Yeah, so you see, we're getting calls. People are voicing their concern. And you just heard from a caller. He is saying, and I don't know the man personally, but he just said, BBP is not getting a landslide. Almost all the ministers will tell you that they're getting a landslide. I know one thing for sure, it looks like they're going to get a slide. But we don't know. They have a lot of land around them, but we'll see how that goes. I'm not, his crystal ball says I'll join ANOC. I am not taking that decision as yet. We'll see. Come on, people, call, ask us some questions, fire away.
Good. 231-2982, 707-1132. Call and let's hear your opinion about all kinds of things, everything under the sun. We started the program by telling you about what happened with the GRA. In case you just joined us, the Chief Justice.
Hello, good evening.
Hey, good evening. I joined your program just recently, like about 10 minutes ago, and I've heard you guys talk about, duties and taxes. But I don't see a problem with duties and taxes currently in the country with vehicles. This is just my opinion, right?
Go ahead.
But I think the problem lies within people in general. People want to live up for the masses. They want the fancy Range Rover, yet they don't know the 5Cs. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you would agree. You drive from Berbice to Georgetown. I am a Berbician too. So I do feel we have a major problem in keeping with what the previous caller said in terms of road safety. I feel some of it can be mitigated if we decentralize most of the government agencies and business places. But again, that is just my opinion. And, we have bigger people in the country that makes all these decisions. Enforcement must be done. With regards to taxes on vehicles and duties, there are ways to get nice vehicles at a cheaper rate, but you have to be able to want to go to the renewable end of things.
I hear you. Let me say something in relation to traffic. And enforcement is my biggest concern. I was coming from Crabble Creek one day. I went to visit my daughter up at Skelton. We drove for a little while, coming back. And there was a police checkpoint, call it a checkpoint. An inspector was behind there. One particular policeman in regular clothes, no stripes, so I don't think he's a corporal or anything else more than what he was. I saw this man take money from a driver and the car drove off. I stopped right then and told the inspector that man just took money from a hire car driver. He said, all right, we could deal with it later, and it was done. So that's what the corruption is. I mean, the lack of enforcement. You buy your way through or you pay your way through.
It is very sad when it comes to driving on the roads in Guyana. Very, very sad. I mean, almost every day there's a vehicular accident. And it's because of poor enforcement. and people
Definitely.
probably not getting their license through the right channels.
All of that is, again, enforcement. You have to go through a program before you can get your damn license, but some people just pay for it and get it, and that's what, again, the problem is, or it adds to the confusion. I said it already. You know, long ago, Freddie, we used to, for you to get a hire car driver's license, you had to be private car driver for 5 years. Now these chaps go wherever they go, and they're driving these big trucks. Some of them don't even understand the brakes that these trucks have. It's air brakes. It does not stop when you step on the brakes right away. There are all kinds of things you got to know.
Let's take this call.
Anyways,
Okay.
thanks for calling, my dear.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Kissoon and Mr. Charandas.
Good evening, my friend. Good evening.
I'm trying to attack about people. They're talking about the enforcement of law with the road safety, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Mr. Charandas, I say from a long time that they have too much of vehicle on the road. There's the traffic keeps is 116,000.
Wow.
You remember years ago, the same Bornham did restricted vehicle from coming in the country?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we don't have so much road. Now, number two, the Indian Prime Minister was here. Why we didn't ask for travel-free visas to go to India? You feel that we should get that?
I think so. I mean, I don't see that might be a big issue.
No, but that is what I was thinking about. We travel-free to go to. But I like your short this evening, man. Your short much up your look. Everything is all right, though. Everything is good otherwise.
All right, buddy.
And we talking about the landslide VXP. I hope the PPP get a landslide VXP for letting me stay for Nadi serve a second term.
All right. Well, thanks. I'm sure he's gonna love to hear that.
Yeah, no, I'm glad because you can't put these people when they're for 5 years. What they do? I mean, we got a little corruption all about the place, but let the man the next storm we can straighten up on that.
All right.
No work on that.
Thanks for calling, my friend. Thank you.
Man, say you like your shirt.
Do you like my shirt? I don't know. Actually, it's the first time I'm wearing this shirt.
You bought it from India?
I don't even know where, man.
You don't know where you bought your clothes? Or somebody gave you one?
It could be somebody might have given me this too. You never know. I get all these fancy gifts when people come.
Okay, so let's hear from you. You want to talk to CHARRANDAS? There have been some positive reviews of his politics so far. 231-2982, 707-1132. Talk to Charan. So, December the 15th. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, my friend.
That's a question with this cash grant.
Question with what?
Cash grant.
Oh, cash grant.
Honest cash grant. I think this cash grant was supposed to be a poverty relief measure. But if it is being taken so long to issue out, which means sometimes people might need them this year, I mean, that's still next year. Is that poverty really?
Well, I don't know that it's meant to give you poverty relief. It's a way to give you some extra money in your pocket because it cannot relieve poverty with $100,000. Trust me.
Yeah, but it came out of the cry of cost of living rising. But that was my understanding. There was a cry of the cost of living rising, and they said they were going to give this some little grant to help out. But if you're taking so long to issue this thing, it will help nobody. And the second is, why do the rich people need this? Why would President Ali, who is having all kind of concession from the government that believe this, tax concession, this, that, why would he need it? Why would the Minister of the Government? Why would the owner of Gaffo's need it? Why would the owner of Japanese need this 100,000? If you get what I mean. Why would people who left this country in 1980 and 1997 kind of would have established a life in New York, Canada, America, and all these places need this 100,000? This thing is just continue to show that the rich, this war is catered for the rich and the powerful.
The poor, normal man, the people in the interior, the people in Leguan, the people in Pomerona who struggling, these are the people who need the money. The vulnerable, the people who are the privileged. Those are the people who need the money. Okay?
You see, my friend, if you deem it as you did to relieve poverty, what you're doing, you say only the poor people should get it. The government is saying, look, we want to give every Guyanese sort of a Christmas bonus or a little extra dollar in their pocket.
But I did ask you, Charandas, are you in need of the 100,000 plan?
I'll tell you one thing when it comes to money. I may not need it right now, but I'm not going to refuse any money you want to give me.
I know you want to refuse it. I know you refuse it, but the word is need.
Yeah, okay.
The word is need. The word is need.
No, but I agree with what you're saying.
You went to farm and say you're fighting for the beer.
But all right, how would you look at the government if the government says if your salary is say 80,000 or say 100,000 a month, then you do not qualify for the cash grant? That will create quite a stir, you know.
But what I'm saying, the rich people.
I hear you. All right. Gafoor, maybe Charandas doesn't need it. He shouldn't get it.
They don't need it.
But then you're singling out people, and that it'll be a tough one to take seriously.
The poverty will not end. There will be a lot of people who will punish it, and they will not get a cent of that money. Because only the rich and the poor will got the money. Good night.
Wait, don't go. You still there?
Yeah.
You asked Sharon if he need it. You didn't ask me if I need it.
Freddie, you don't need it. The people don't bless you with a lot of money. You don't need more money, man.
The people who dressed me up?
Bless you with a lot of money.
Who dressed me up with a lot of money?
PVP.
That is not true.
Why
the only way you could switch from the PP the way you did, you was the worst critic of the people. The only way
why I switch to the people?
Something like
who I switched to? I write my little column in the Chronicle. I don't get a cent for it. Who dressing me?
No. You just a rat man. You was this program demonizing people.
You know what? You got to start thinking maturely. Why you can't have a conscience? Anyway, nobody dressing me up with no money. I certainly need them to do that.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening, Uncle Sharon.
Yes.
This is the show.
Yes, you're on the Freddie Kissoon call-in program.
Good night. I see you get a nice show. I got a problem.
What?
One of your caller would just call in. Say that corruption is normal. That if an Ali go win, and he go fix corruption the next time. We could come out with a little corruption. Why this man and why Guyanese people say so? Why do you think that corruption got to be normal?
There's a noise in the background. What's that noise in the background?
It sounds like a cat fighting for food.
Hello?
Yes. Hello?
Yeah, good, okay. He tied the cat mouth.
The caller will call and say, but corruption is normal. And that if Ali going to win the next time, and the next time he really going to fix the corruption. We want to fix the corruption now.
All right.
That corruption is normal.
You know, that was his view, man. You can't argue much with that. All right?
Who is yours? Because I hear you're going to launch political party, or you're going to join up a political party after December the 16th. What is your view?
What?
Hello?
I hear you're going to launch some political party.
I'm not going to lie. I haven't said that yet, you know, but I know that I'm in politics now.
All right.
You're
okay.
in politics now.
All right, let's take this call.
All right, thank you.
Good, bye. Good evening.
Hi, Mr. Kissoon. Good night to you and Mr. Charandas.
Good night, my friend.
Okay, Mr. Charandas.
Yes.
I echo the same sentiment that you used a couple of weeks back on the Success program, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, pertaining to the police and the camera exception, it's like the government ain't supposed to appeal to any lawmaker after the 24th of December 2018. Yet, for way and beyond still, we're running in circles. Now, we have, we have warm, and I'm not afraid to say this, okay?
gone by, right?
Nobody camera.
Nobody camera. None whatsoever.
Yeah, that would help, you know, but I...
It's over the police on the road when they come.
I hear you, and I agree with you. I do agree with that. All right?
Right?
All right, buddy. Thanks for your opinion there. I hear what you say.
Okay.
There was somebody on my call, too.
Well, you could call him back if you want.
You can know if it's a Canadian call.
Maybe let's take this call.
All right, yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening, good evening.
Yeah, go on. We listen to you.
Yeah, I am looking at your program and I see that you were talking about the traffic congestion in the city a moment ago. And I would like to relate my experience that I've had living in another country and now back home for a few days. In a city where I was living, there was usually a circulation of about 400,000 cars on a daily basis. And what the mayor of that city did, because he was responsible for the municipal laws and so on, and what he did is that he made a law that every private car owner could have had circulation of their vehicle on the road only 4 days of the week. And that helped the congestion a lot. Say, for example, in my home, we had 3 cars, and we never realized that we could have used 1 car to take the 3 persons who are going to work instead of using 3 cars on a daily basis. And that happened a lot in the whole country. And it helped to ease the congestion in the city quite a lot. I don't know if that is possible here. And trucks also were not permitted to be on the road after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. On the highways and other parts, you had places where the trucks park and people selling coffee all night and so on. So from 4 o'clock in the afternoon, there was no truck circulating. You have to wait until 6 o'clock in the morning before you start again. That's my contribution. Thank you.
Don't go. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Why you don't want to identify the city for the thousands of viewers?
It was Portadas in Venezuela.
Portadas in what?
Venezuela.
In Venezuela, Venezuela, neighboring country.
Well, look, safe journey. You say you're only here for 5 days. Well, I hope you come again.
Yes, I will.
Okay. Bye-bye. Take care. Safe journey.
Thank you.
You know the... Good evening.
Hi, good evening, Freddie. Good evening, Charan.
Good evening, my friend.
Charan, I have a little story I want to speak with you about here.
A short one, though, right?
Yeah, you getting back into politics, right? That's a welcome sign, right? Because you're charismatic, you're democratic, whatever. What you did in this country was, we could never repay that debt of taking us out of the doldrums.
All right.
What I want to say to you, Charan, is that realistically, on the political scene, right? You have no sympathizers in the PNC camp, no sympathizers in the AFC camp.
Right.
You won't pull votes from their support base. You won't pull anything from them. Where you pull your votes, Charan, is the PVP. So you've got to sit down and think carefully what you're doing, because your entrance into politics, and if you go your way, and let's assume you go on your own, you're going to pull votes from the PVP base. And that could be dangerous for this country, because that could mean that a coalition of AFC, PNC can garner votes and can,
form government.
Seat of the government.
All right.
So that's a consideration you need to sit quietly. You have taken us out of the doldrums. You have taken 200 taxes off our backs. You have made us have an economic life in this country because of your step. But I want you to think carefully where you take the votes from.
Because if you do that, right, you are giving them a free ride back in government.
Back into power.
And if they get back into government, right, this country is doomed because they are the worst of the people who can ever think about ruling a country. I mean, you can't have people who want to steal a whole country, right, to govern in a country, because they're going to go back there and they're going to ensure that they put systems in place that there's going to be no more democracy in this country.
I agree with you, my friend. I hear you and I agree with you. There wasn't going to be an election if the coalition had stayed in power for full 5 years. There wasn't going to be an election in 2020.
I know that, Sharon, and we all know that what was going to happen.
The plan was to go another 2 years and fix things.
What was happening in Chico, we know who the actors are. I'm not going to name no names because, like, Freddie,
no, we're not calling names on TV.
But at the end of the day, Sharon, you put a full stop to a lot of things with the no confidence motion. You made the Guyanese people understand who the real politicians are in this country, right? I mean, the thing is, you look, I mean, what's happening in Guyana right now is a fabrication. I am not saying that there are not issues, but the opposition is so weak that what they're resorting to is fabricating a set of stories and selling it to the congressional leaders in the United States to pressure the Guyana government, right? But that will come to end in January, because when Mr. Trump goes there, he has no time with who is the PNC or whatever, right? And you got to remember it's Trump government who passed those sentences on visa revocation and caused the chaos in the PNC camp, right? Trump government did that for the Guyanese people, right? Let's forget what Trump did and what kind of lead he did, but he stood for democracy in Guyana, right? And we were able to
my friend, I hear you. Thanks for your contribution, buddy. Thanks for your contribution.
Okay, let's take this other call. Thanks for coming through. Bye-bye.
Finally, right? Those 5 months were the most horrible 5 months that any Chinese would have lived in this country.
So,
we hear you.
All right.
There were some days that
Okay, so let's take this other call. Okay.
Think carefully.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. All right. Hi, good evening. You're on the Freddie show. Hello?
Good evening, gentlemen. Nice to talk to both of you, especially you, Mr. Charrandas.
Thanks.
I live in North America. My parents left Guyana. All of us left Guyana in 1980. And I will never forgive the PNC government for what they did for the migration that they caused. Thousands and hundreds of thousands of Guyanese to leave the shores of Guyana. And, you know, once you get children over here and you settle down, you're not going back home to live.
I hear you.
And, you know, so for me that hurts very much. And that's why, Mr. Charrandas, I will echo what other callers have said tonight. Would not like you to see pulling votes from the PDP. I don't want to see those people back in power, and it hurts me very much that when they get back in power, what they're going to do, what could have happened, and thank God for you and what you did with the no confidence vote. I mean, you know, again, I appeal to you, stay the course, you know, and support the PVP in whatever way you can. And that's all I have to say tonight. The other things I want to talk about, but I leave it for the call.
No. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to talk about another topic, and that is the visit of PM Modi. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of the PM. However,
I'm not a fan of him. I'm not a fan of him at all.
Okay. Well, growing up, and I want to talk about his visit a little bit. Growing up in Guyana, in the 60s, I'm a 60s child, and I grew up, I went to school at Bishop's High School, Queen's College for a brief period, then we transferred to Bishop's High School when co-education started. And one of the things that struck me back then is that our culture, Indian culture, no, I have nothing against any other culture, but I'm Indian. I'm Indo-Guyanese, and I felt that our culture at the time was suppressed.
Trampled on.
We seen as second or third class citizens. Everything was about, black is beautiful. Our Korean roti and all of that was looked down upon, frowned upon. When we were in school, a bunch of us boys had to go and sit in a corner and hide and eat our Korean roti wrap or whatever we had. Because, like I said, our culture was seen as, inferior to others. And I felt, when the government changed in 92, many things changed. And it takes over time. So, the cultural center was built. It was built in Georgetown with funds from the Indian government.
1971, yes.
But it wasn't for Indian people because we didn't live in Georgetown. Most of us lived in a country area. So again, when we had, look, at Bishop's High School, I can tell you, our every Monday and Friday we had, we met in the main hall, and it was a Christian prayer. Everything was about a Christian prayer. There was no Muslim or Hindu prayers or anything like that. We had to advocate for that. So again, our culture, like I said, was suppressed. It was looked down upon. And then things began to change gradually when the PPP came into power. And I see PM Modi's visit, like I said, I don't agree with him, many of his policies, but, to me it's a culmination of, yes, we belong. Our culture matters. And when I see what Lincoln Lewis wrote in the letter he wrote that was published in the Fabric News the other day, it takes me back, and I say, you know what? We deserve this. It's about time. Now everybody, of course, they talk about Seven Curry and all the different things that we have, our culture celebrated, and good for us.
All right,
that's my take on that.
All right. It's a good contribution. I hear you, and I respect what you just said, So we'll see how things go, though. All right, have a good one.
Stay the course, Mr. Charandas. You are a hero to many of us. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, my friend.
Okay, bye-bye.
Oh, you had to understand that?
No.
Oh.
Oh. You have another call there?
It just cut off.
Just cut off?
Mm-hmm.
Good, let's stay the course. Charandas was asked to stay the course.
Wow, Canada. Couple times. Hi, good evening. Wow. Hello, good evening. You're on the Freddie Kissoon show.
Hi, good night. Good night to you both.
Good night, my friend.
Yeah, listen, I have three points I want to make here. And the first one is about you, Sharon, that I was happy, and that day when you crossed the floor, it was one of the best days for Guyana, and you will be remembered forever.
Thanks, my friend.
I don't want you to crash it this time. You know what I mean? Because, listen, if you're not going to make it, because this government is very powerful. You know what I mean? And second, we have the medical.
You mean you might cross again?
No, I don't want this.
You might cross again. If he cross again, but then he's the cross.
Well, he's not going to make it. That will be the end of his career. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because we get American here with us. Well, that's all I want to say, man. I'm happy when you did that, and we will never forget. We always thank you for that.
I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. All right.
The second point I want to make, I want to talk about corruption. Corruption, the definition for corruption is bribery. And we have to blame the Indian for bribery, not the police, because Indian like to drive, and there are the corruption in this country. If they stop giving the police money,
your song racial there.
They sung racial for sure.
No. Listen, I know about black people, they don't pay the police. They go to the lock shop. And outside
Watch it. You're stereotyping ethnic groups, man. I know you probably don't mean it, but it's coming over like that. But anyway, listen, man.
No, but that's what corruption is, brother. We got to face it, and we Indians have to stand up and face the law and not buy it out. You know what I'm saying?
I hear
because you can't blame the government later that there's no law here anymore, because they are the one who corrupt the law. You know, second, I want to talk about poverty. Some of us put ourselves in poverty, and the government put us in poverty too. And they can't take us out. It doesn't matter how much money. Like, for instance, in Pomeroon River, people gonna go way back to live, and they can never come out of the poverty if they don't come forward and live like in the city where they could get light, water, and all these things. You know what I mean? They have to move out from those areas. Like, you know, I remember going to Blackbush, and Jagan put those people in Blackbush to live 7 miles inside from Fari Tree Head, which they come out at the head of Fari Tree and do them farming and rice and all these things, which in Jagan could have put them at the road front to live and let them go back 7 miles and do them farming. They didn't get water, light, nothing has been get for all these years, you know, and they've been living in this poverty. So I think that was a mistake done there. So the people have to come out of poverty by themselves, and the government will help a lot too, right? Because now we don't have potential wealth. We got real wealth here now, you know what I mean? But that's all I want to say, man. But you guys enjoy. But please, brother, don't cross the floor, all right?
No, you gotta say don't cross the floor again. Well, once...
Again.
Yeah, and well...
when he crossed the floor, he did the right thing. That was really great.
As I said before, if we keep crossing the floor, then he's a cross.
No, I wouldn't call him that. No. He's a good man.
Thanks, my friend. Have a good night, eh?
Yeah.
Charan, you have a lot of fans, man.
Yeah, my nephew was calling Eddie.
Charan, if you form a party, I could be the prime ministerial candidate.
Freddie, I can say yes to that because that is.
But how it gonna work? You can't have an Indian presidential candidate and an Indian prime ministerial candidate. So which means
you see,
I will lose out.
Hold right there.
I can lose out.
Since you've raised that, Freddie, why is it?
What about the Portuguese?
No, hold on. Why is it the PPP never had an Afro-Guyanese as leader and the PNC never had an Indian Guyanese as leader? Isn't that speaking to race? Tell me.
So,
take the call.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, my friend.
Yes, you're on the air, sir.
On the topic of corruption, with the police collecting money. But Sharon, I don't think you're in a position to make those comments. Because you collect money and bring on a whole government. So I don't think you do.
Hold on. No, wait. Did you give me any money?
About?
He's gone? My friend?
No.
I collected money to bring down.
He wanted to put in his little piece of that.
Yeah.
So
he gone?
He just wanted to irritate you.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. I wonder if he give me any money.
But I mean, you just could look at the calls for and against.
He called and he said that he just hung up.
This must be the only man who put it. But you got to understand.
No, it's all right, Freddie. He can say what he wants to say.
You got to expect that in life. The Starbucks news just hates you. Because the Starbucks News didn't want Granger. You know the owner of the Starbucks News and Mr. Granger were personal friends? Hello?
Mr. Freddie.
Yeah.
Yes.
And CHARRANDAS PERSAUD is next to me.
Mr. CHARRANDAS.
Good night, my friend.
I want Mr. CHARRANDAS not to bother with you. If he wants to form a party, and look, it's good. That's the only way we're going to get changes in this country, because one party cannot lead this nation. They have to get somebody to do check and balance in this country.
You have a point, and I agree with that.
Yes, so don't bother with Freddie. Freddie's the couture. If you want to go with Anouk, go with Anouk.
You know what I would say? Whether I form a party, join a small party, or whatever, what you need in Guyana is what the AFC had. And we sold ourselves out. And that is why AFC is self-destruct. They're not going to even get a seat if they run by themselves. And the APNU people are stupid to have a coalition with them because APNU will get votes and they got to share some with the AFC, those fools that are running it. But I'll tell you, what you have in Canada right now is a real democracy. Trudeau is a minority government. Jagmeet Singh, the leader of the NDP, controls what Trudeau does. And if he stays there, whether the Conservatives or the Liberals come back in power, he will still have that control. He maintains what he's doing. And so you will have a real democracy.
That's what we need in Guyana.
That's what we need. That's right. I agree with you.
Yes. So don't bother with Uncle Freddie here.
All right, fine. We'll see how that goes. Thanks for calling, my friend.
Man called me a coach. What did I advise you? What did I didn't advise you on anything. I just said you and Anil and Irfan would make a good team. Master, I'm a coach. You got a call there?
No. My nephew just called. I text him.
Oh, okay. So it looks like Charan has a fan base. Well, I must say I've known Charan for more than 35 years and he's a friend of mine. We've known each other a long time. We've had some very nice memories, especially the one I'll never forget with my wife growing up Kanji Creek. Good evening.
Hello. Good evening. Good evening.
Hello.
Ready?
Yeah. Something.
Good night.
Good night.
I'm an ardent listener to your show, and I know both of you guys.
Well,
we did cross paths many times years ago. I was very nice to have you. Want to start. You have to let your callers know that Rome wasn't built in a year or in a day. So, the United Nations says that Gaza, from the destruction, will take like 230 years to be rebuilt. Now, Diana was battered to its knees, up to its bottom, by the PNC over the decades. It will take some time to get everything the right way. I notice people want things to happen like overnight. But this shouldn't happen, that should happen now. They're doing that wrong, they're doing this right. They have trials and errors. And those still takes time. So please, that's my contribution, and congratulations to both of you guys for a good job.
Thank you, my friend.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. I'm going to call there. Oh.
We just missed his call.
So and you call him and he's not answering.
He's not answering, yeah.
You want to try him again?
No, we can try. Gone to bed. Hello, good evening. You're on the Freddie Kissoon show.
Hello? Hello?
Hello? Come on, people, talk to us. What, the call is coming back again? What is going on here? I didn't do anything wrong. We answered the call and got no response. What is a local call? Let's see who called just now. Come on.
Your call is being forwarded
Wow.
to a voice.
No answer. All right.
Okay, so let's stay the course as Sharon, as people have advocated to Sharon.
I've been told, yeah.
Stay the course. So we're staying the course until 10 o'clock. The numbers are 231-2982. If you're in the diaspora, there's a WhatsApp number there. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Kissoon.
Yeah?
Well, Donald Trump is in power and he's going to take over next month. And Mr. Maduro in problems. You don't feel so?
Anything else, sir?
Yeah, nothing else.
What else?
I feel that Donald Trump is the best man for the world.
Okay, sir. Anything else?
No, that's my contribution.
Okay, sir. You're
Thanks very
entitled
much.
to your
All right.
opinion. Thanks. Bye.
Somebody else was coming in there.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
I just want to make a contribution to your program in terms of
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
Kwame Party, and we just came through some scars with this election, not election, the election in the parliament with citizens and so forth, and some court battles. Now we have a problem going on in parliament with Miss Asha Kissoon, right? So what I want to say, I know I hear Mr. Chairrandas say he want to come back into the political scene.
He said he will be coming back in the political scene right now.
Which I wish him well. But I have this to say that politicians in Ghana cannot be trusted. Right? But they cannot be trusted because I understand what Mr. Chairrandas did, but I don't agree with it. But I understand how he explained that he did, but I don't agree with it. Because if me and you form a government and then tomorrow you're gonna backstab me, I cannot trust you as a politician. And now we have Miss Asha Kissoon, who made an agreement with people. Like she came out and said that what the PSC tried to do, and she was very loud in if you notice now she's extremely silent, she's not saying anything because I think she's extremely shameful. She came out and talked a lot of things about the original election. And now she made an agreement with our comrades. And when her time is up, she don't want to come out. And now she comes saying that she's illegal, that she still want to go in there and partake. So in that sense, I don't think politicians in Ghana can be trusted. I think they're very deceitful and very self-serving. That's my contribution.
Okay,
All right,
sir.
my friend. We hear you. We hear you.
Well, it depends upon language you use.
Again, it's
I
a personal
wanted to
view
tell him.
and-
I wanted to tell him that if a person votes with their conscience to save their country, how could that be backstabbing? People voted against it.
It's his personal view, and you're entitled to that. And he made it quite clear. While he did not, what I did, he understands what I did, but he didn't like what I did. Well, a lot of people didn't like what I did. And for me, I know that I did the right thing. At that time, it had to be done. And I must have been chosen by God to do that. But my conscience is clear. Was clear then, is clear now, that I did the right thing. So, my friend, I'm not angry with you. I will not be angry with you for feeling that I did wrong. It's your view, and you're entitled to that. So, anybody, I've been told already. One caller just called and said, you were paid to vote the government out, and he just hung up because he didn't want to respond to anything. And, you know, I would not fight with him for that. That's his view. The point in all of that is you're entitled to say what you want in any situation. You give your view, and it's an opinion. Your opinion is always yours. So I'm not going to argue with that at all. Oh, this gentleman is calling back. Hi, good evening. You're on the Freddie Kissoon show.
Hi, Charan.
Yes.
Kissoon, how are you doing?
I'm not doing too well. I need $100,000 earliest tomorrow.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Join my party, I'll give you $100,000.
Which party is that? All right.
Anug.
Only 100,000.
This is a cottage boy
Okay.
from Toronto.
Prim.
I just called to see how you're doing, and don't ever join PP party.
You see, all right. That's what I just said.
Freddie Kissoon.
Different opinions, you know.
Freddie Kissoon. He said will give up PP party soon.
I'll take time when I make that decision or before I make that decision. So right now I'm just floating through things, you know.
No. You take the longer you take, the worse you get. You got to make up your mind now.
Nah, man. By December 15th, you know, I still have time.
No, you don't waste time, brother.
No, that is one thing I don't do. But we'll see how that goes.
Jonas, man. Jonas is a boy.
But you be
a good pair.
You're following the news. Jonas is no longer in the leadership of ANUG. He didn't seek nomination.
He's still part of ANUG.
Well, he's still part of ANUG. Well, he's not in the leadership. He can't lead the party.
No, he just want to. He might be the president. You don't know.
Oh well, I don't think so though. But you know, I like Jonas. He's a brilliant lawyer, and I can say a very good friend.
So the same way he thinks about you.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll see how that goes now.
You're batting for Jonas. You want Sharon team up with Jonas.
In the PP party, there's too much nepotism, and there's too much favoritism, and there's too much scams there. Don't go there. That's not the party for you.
So when I get in this 100,000, when? Tomorrow?
You wait for Barjack to give you that.
All right, my friend.
Before you give the poor people, he give his own type.
No man, he's giving everybody the 100,000.
No. Right now he's giving his staff and all those police and whoever work with the government. The poor people who needs it the most, not getting it. You gotta wait till June next year.
No man, they will get it before that. It's a processing, you know.
I don't think so. Trust me, not until April.
Wow. All right.
Anyway, brother.
Yeah, man. Have a good one.
I hope you pick the right party.
All right, my friend. We'll talk. Have a good night.
Because if you don't find the right party, PP gonna win again, and guess what? Guyanese gonna suffer again.
All right. I hear you. Take care. Have a good night, my friend.
60 years, brother. 60 years and the country cannot change yet. What's really going on in Guyana?
Wow. All right. We'll see now. You take care. Have a good night, huh?
You are entitled to your opinion.
People have a right. And you know what?
You may not have the right opinion.
I will not be angry with you outside there, my friend. If you feel that whatever I'm doing is wrong, you can say that. That is all right. Again, your opinion is your opinion. You have a right to it. So we've had various opinions here tonight and differing in many ways. So, you know, people are like that. You can't expect everybody to agree. If you're in Canada, I had a brother, or I have a brother, but at that time he used to ski. And he was happy when it snowed because it was cheap to go and ski in the mountains. When it doesn't snow, they have to create snow so the cost goes up. And even God, therefore, when he gives you snow, some will like it and some will not. So God can't please everybody. How you expect politicians or somebody like me to please everybody? You will be taking a stand one way or the other. So have fun.
But you're in some trouble there, Charan. Some people want you to go with the PPP.
And some
people want you to go with other parties. Some people want you to form your own party. I don't want you to form your own party. I get left out because I can't be the prime ministerial candidate. You can't get two Indians.
Well, some people tell me to listen to you.
But if you form your party, I cannot get the PM slot. So
if I form my own party?
I can't, right, because I'm Indian. How you not presidential candidate Indian, prime ministerial candidate Indian? So I get left
Why not? Again, I said it already.
So you're going to make me PM candidate?
The fact that you do not have let me use loose term, an Indian man as leader for the PNC and a black man or woman, as the case might be, as leader for the PPP, speaks to race, it means you're racial when you make such selections, because you believe that this is a party that has to be led by a black man or you will lose votes. It's a predominantly, and the same thing for the Indian party. So how can you say you're not racial? That by itself identifies, in my view anyways, you as a racist. Let's take the calls.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Kissoon. Good evening.
Good evening, good evening.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, man, nobody said that you was a coach. You're not a coach, but you're doing a very good job.
Hey, stop right there. Listen, I have been around more than 55 years in political activism, 36 years as a journalist in the media. People will say all kind of things. You just get on with your life. The man, it's a free program. You can call and give your opinion. He didn't say I was a thief. He didn't say I was a homosexual.
All right.
He said he's a coach. Oh, the man's entitled to his opinion. I mean,
Mr. Charandas said that why you got a Negro man as a leader in the PDP?
You don't say Negro anymore. You gotta say African. Negro is no longer accepted.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, good. Sam Hines ruled the country for a while.
He's prime minister. He was never presidential candidate.
He was the president of Guyana.
Yeah, but
Yes, he was the president.
for a period.
No, what he... All right, let's take this call. Good. Yeah? Oh, so you want to take this one here? You want to take this one here?
Yeah, take that.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening. Hello. Who is this wonderful auntie man next to you? What, like cut in your mouth? What's going on?
You gotta expect all the look.
You will get that. Well, we have his number.
Oh, you got his number?
Yeah.
No, this doesn't have you gotta expect all of that. Oh yes, you have his number.
Yeah, the display's there.
Right. Anyway, look, our time is going down, so we gotta take we could only take a couple of more calls. We got 3 minutes more to go. Time really flies, so let's go. Somebody, of course, hates you because you brought down.
No. When they call, we're writing down the numbers. So that lunatic just
no, don't worry with that. It comes with the territory.
It comes with the territory.
It comes with the territory. Good evening. Hello.
Hello. Good night.
Good night.
Yes.
I would like to congratulate Mr. Charandas on the decision that he made to cross the floor and put the PPP in power. And my personal opinion about politicians, I would like to give now, which is subject to discussion and so on. I would like to say that, in my opinion, all politicians are corrupt and their primary objective is self-enrichment. Now, when I say all, I mean all. And so all these people that are talking and accusing Mr. Charandas of being a traitor and all that thing, it's the game of politics, and that's how the game is being played. So I don't see anything wrong with that.
No.
What I would like to know, to tell Mr. Charandas is like what everybody has been telling him all the night, that don't cross the floor again. And even if you are going to collate with a party, and you have been looking at the political platform of the major opposition party, the PNC in this country, it's all about racialism. And we don't have space for racialism in this country at the moment. I'm an old person. I'm 78 years of age, and I have witnessed what took place in the year 1964. I was a schoolboy. I wouldn't like to go back and live in that era. And that is what, when you look at Sam Hines, when you look at Rickford Burr, Ben Chuck, and all of them, it's everything about racism and African dominance when they get a chance. So my brother,
You said Sam Hines. You said Sam Hines.
You're going to form a party
trust you.
Thank you very much.
My friend, we hear you, we hear you.
1 minute more to go, so we could take at least, if you're quick, we could take 3 calls. 1 minute more to go, time really flies.
We'll take this one.
Yeah.
Hi, good evening. You're on the Freddie Kissoon show.
Yeah, I'm on the show.
Yes, you are.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, good night again. I called earlier. Just want to say I disagree with that gentleman. I don't think all politicians are corrupt.
Certainly not. Certainly not. The man is entitled to his opinion, but certainly not. All politicians are not.
Yeah,
Dr. Jagan was not corrupt.
I have one very good example to give you, and he's sitting right next to Mr. Kissoon there.
Thanks, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Mr. Charandas, sir, like I said, you're a hero to us, and just stay the course. Thank you, sir.
I hear you. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Our time has come. You got another call there, yeah?
Hi, good evening. You're on the Freddie Kissoon show.
You got to lower your volume there. We're hearing ourselves.
Okay, hang up. Please call him back. Hello, good evening. You're on the Freddie Kissoon show. All right, they're hanging up on us. All right, Freddie.
But yeah, our time has come. We're supposed to take that. Good, I'm going to count from 1 to 10 as I normally do. And if within that 1 to 10 there's no call, then
we sign off.
So our time has come. We'll be taking one last call. Counting from 1 to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's it. The show for this evening on Friday is over. Time really flew. We've had... we gotta go.
He called just now.
Hello?
Wait, okay. Hang on.
Good. So, we gotta go. It was nice having Charan here. You've missed the 1 to 10 call, but quickly, our time has come. The operators have to go home.
Mr. Freddie.
Yeah. Quickly.
Yeah. I want to know when they start in Region 6 road. When the public road.
I don't know, sir. I don't know. But you should have called early and maybe Charan could have talked about it. But we got to go. I hope I hear from you next Friday.
Okay.
Bye-bye. We got to go. We got to observe the rights of our operators.
Operators got it right.
2 minutes past 10. We finish at 10. I hope Charan is able to make this a constant feature of the Friday show. I will leave that up to him.
I'll do my best, Freddie.
Good. So on behalf of CHARRANDAS, on behalf of our operators, have a very pleasant weekend. And I normally end the program by saying, bye-bye, catch you later.